Yeah, about Jaws of the Glades. I almost forgot about this song. I can't remember how it came back to the surface. I think I was kind of going through some old files, some old notes, and I saw it. I'm like, that's right, I wrote that song. I recorded that song, but I couldn't attend the farewell party, so it's a little late, making it to the website. Yeah, about the song. It's about. Everybody always says the Big Cypress is their favorite part of the Everglades. I've heard that once. I've heard it 1,000 times, probably 10,000 times. But then when it comes to doling out money to protect it, it's like, oh, the Big Cypress, it's outside of the Everglades. It's kind of the Big Cypress paradox. Everybody says it's their favorite area in the Everglades, but then, when it comes to spending money to restore the water on the Big Cypress half of the big pond in South Florida, the big shallow pond, it's like, well, sorry, we're out of money, we're using it all over here in the Everglades. And I think that's just kind of been the status quo and for too long. Yeah, the reason I just think the Big Cypress is greatly misunderstood. I think early on, and I think it was a good decision at the time. Back, rewind the clock 50 years ago, they were going to develop the entire Big Cypress. They kind of had boxed in the Everglades, and they said, oh, the Big Cypress is on the outside of it. It's all private property land, and that's all going to be slated for development. I mean, they built Southern Golden Gate Estates, Remuda Ranch, and Fakahatchee. Every square inch of the Big Cypress National Preserve was subdivided, and people, started to build on it. And then they're going to build this huge jet port that was going to service both coasts, and that would have pretty much been the beginning of the end of all the natural scenery and flowways and swamplands that support the downstream estuaries in Big Cypress. And the kind of planners stepped in, and they got together with the scientists, and they said, no, this is a huge watershed, and it feeds down into the Everglades, the western arm of the Everglades, the 10,000 islands. And it was kind of sold to the public, it was sold to the politicians as an isolated watershed that we could protect. And if we protect that watershed, we achieve restoration and conservation all in one step. And I think that was the allure of the Big Cypress. That, wow, with a little bit of money just to conserve the land, we conserve the water too. Unlike the Everglades, where, oh God, we have it, it's a big open space in the Everglades, but the water needs major replumbing because the upstream agricultural areas and how Lake Okeechobee is operated and how the water conservation areas, kind of the headwater area of the Everglades, got all carved up. It required a major infrastructural replumbing effort that's billions of dollars. But so anyhow, I'm droning on, aren't I? Yeah, Bobby Angel sometimes drones on. That's the thing about me. I think sometimes I'll sit down for an interview about a song, intending to play the song, and before I know it, I forget to play the song. That's kind of a common thing at the campfire, I think. Yeah, so more about this song. I remember a colleague came up to me and she said, Lori's leaving and you need to write her a song. And I said, well, it's a pandemic, and we're gonna get together. And she's like, you need to write her a song. Just something the way she said it, I just they were marching orders. And I was like, well, I don't even know what am I gonna write about, And the thing about Lori is she started her career in the Everglades and she ended it in the Big Cypress. So I thought, okay, there's the arc. We can kind of tell this story about the Everglades and the allure of the Big Cypress and kind of pulling victories from the jaws of the Glades, And the Glades are beautiful. I mean, everybody loves the Everglades and we're protecting the Everglades. That's not the point. But the point is there's a real special forest right next to it, a flooded forest that is part of the greater Everglades, a unique part of the Everglades, and a place that people say is their favorite part of the Everglades. And I think we have to put our money where our mouths are, so to speak, and that, hey, the Big Cypress needs some water replumbing help too, and it's on a little different wavelength than what's required in the Everglades, but you're not going to get the Everglades right if you don't get the Big Cypress half right. So I remember the song. It was I recorded it and I sent it I couldn't attend the party. The party was over at Oasis Visitor Center, and they're starting beginning to shut that place down. So it could have been the last party over at Oasis. And I sent it to Lori, but I didn't perform it in person. I think that's sometimes why I forgot about it. A song never really gets perfected until you sing it a couple times, and probably in front of a live audience. I guess the song. It's not where you begin. It's where you end. And everybody has a hometown, and you hear that. Oh, I'm a 18th generation. Earthling. I'm a 25th generation, or often in Florida, I'm an 5th generation Floridian. I always respond, well, yeah, I'm a 1000th generation Earthling, and I don't know what that means, but that gives me a larger ownership of a bigger area. That's kind of, so yeah, we connect with the places we live, and we should love those places, but that doesn't mean other people can't, oh, I'm only a 4th generation. I guess you're better than me if you're a 5th generation. Well, wait. I have more grandkids than you, so we'll see who's talking about, who has more generations this time, in 50 years. We'll see, buddy. You don't want to get in those sorts of arguments, although we often do, don't we? I think, it's not where you begin, it's where you end, and it's the contribution you make, and, it all goes back to, this was a farewell song for Lori, and she made a really big contribution in the Everglades and in the Big Cypress, and she was, at the visitor center. That's kind of the front line on managing parks, interacting and interfacing information with the public. So, she was the one putting the friendly face and pointing people in the direction and informing them, and her experience in the Everglades helped her in the Big Cypress. And I remember in the end, she's like, I'm so glad. I think I remember this conversation. She said, I'm so glad I retired in the Big Cypress. It's the best part of the Everglades. And we all agreed, and it was a really happy moment, So there you have it. That's just a little bit about this song. And yeah, tune in to maybe some of my other songs or interviews otherwise, or listen to the song. Yeah, I wonder what Lori's up to now. Every once in a while I hear from her, she'll send me a note. So it's good to be in touch with the old guard, because we learn a lot about the old guard in front of the campfire. We build upon the good works of the people that came before us, and Lori was definitely one of them, for sure. She's still there out there. So I'm just gonna strum the guitar a little. Otherwise, I'll talk to you next time.